everybody. This is Joseph Crudup, and welcome to the Joseph Crudup Show. Today is on October 26, 2020. 8 days of election. The campaign heats up between Trump and Biden. Now, what we might say, like guys just talking about, that was like a long time ago. What? I talked about it. It was, this is the stuff we've been doing. We see it now. And the Biden campaign is going strong, like we saw it yesterday. You heard Biden say he will control. He would. I mean, you heard the virus, not the economy. That's what he said. He would deal with the virus, not in the economy. And I gotta say, boy, this is this is unbelievable that he was saying. And then you got Donald Trump's with a funny his didn't wear the mask on, so this got to be now. Now, how do you think about Trump? He's putting people at risk. He's putting, he CNN today, and it says Trump again says virus under control when his chief of staff says can't control the pandemic. That is absolutely insane, folks. I say it again, this breaking news for today. And it says Trump again says virus under control when his chief of staff says can't control the pandemic. Now the virus is under control, and yeah, and that's what he says. They can't control the pandemic because they is. And uh, same time that we see, I know a lot of stuff's going. Okay, the whole stuff's going. It's not gonna go away anytime soon. But I just say no right now. Um, all right, hold on just a second, folks. Let me get the phone. Hello, I'm doing okay. Chris? Can I call you back? I'm doing the interview. Can I call you back? I'm doing something right now. Okay, you have to now. You have to know that this virus is under control. Just for now, the virus is under control. And it has nothing. It has nothing to do with people. It has nothing to do with people. And that's where you are. You get. I mean, people anyhow doing social distancing, and you have to do what we are doing. Then sometimes you do social distancing stuff. Last year you can't do anything. Now I know this campaign and the election's just 9 days away. 8 days away. Sorry about that. The election is 8 days away. But this pandemic is knows how. They don't know how to control. They don't know how to control the pandemic. Not until when I play this pool table pulled up. Trump needs to win months. He needs to win, or else he's gonna find his trying to fight for months win PA. Now you can get that far, get a wide in the hand. Trump needs to win, or else Biden can win in PA. Now Biden now holding back in order to turn. He's fighting. He's fighting. That's what it is. Now the campaign for today says it's all about the fails. It's all about anything. Just going to be something else. And it says Biden made. So this time it's all about the campaign. 9 days for 8 days to the election. Sorry, about 8 days. Now you got the people that now you got to make sure that there was 60 now all knows about this. Donald Trump, I mean, is a president now. Donald Trump is a president now. He's been a president for 40 years. The vice president of Mike Pence is all by himself. We have all these people had tested positive, and the vice president had tested negative. So now we have seen so far what that Donald Trump can do. All Donald Trump can do is win. All Donald Trump can do is win. This, but now here's how we went down. And now let's go to Trump. Now, Trump had an interview, and now just a matter of time. I'm not sure. If Trump loses, then it's going to be the biggest estate that the president has ever made. So now, here's the poll that Donald Trump tweeted. It says last week, Joe Biden made perhaps the most shocking admission ever encountered in the history of president debates on live television. Joe Biden confirmed his plan to abolish the entire U.S. oil industry. That means no fracking, no jobs, and no energy for Pennsylvania families. And yes, I mean, that's what Donald Trump has heard over again now. Guess what? Donald Trump. Now on CNN, where he backfired system is. Now, this is what happens when it just getting going. And that was today in an interview with System is after Leslie Center, White House Press Secretary Kayla McElwain showed up with a natural law spoken tone. Last week, the president wanted me to deliver his health care plan, says McElwain. It's a little heavy. It said it wasn't Trump's health care plan because that, well, this is this instead. According to the system Twitter thread, book was filed with scheduled orders and congratulate activities, but no compulsory health care plan, which, yeah. The research book that discretionary under the levels of its promised context is actually a pretty application for the entire Trump presidency. Can be essentially that McElwain and Trump knew that after he walked off the set, the cameras were still rolling, and so they went for that status. That's if he's put that proposal to be the president's non-assistive health care plan. So anyway, unfortunately, Trump is right about at least some point. That anyway, it looks like there's not, not much to say by Donald Trump. Not much to say. Now and then, and it goes on and on in this whole stuff. Now, folks, it goes on and on. Let me turn this line on. It goes on and on. Okay. It says there was a little more than a week ago. Polls show him losing to the man he called the worst candidate in the history of politics. But the president had one last chance to reach a vast number of Americans with his message. What did he do with this great opportunity? The interview with Winnie left in a huff. Left in a huff. That's what it is. In the traditional end of campaign interview with 60 Minutes, Donald Trump showed that his comfort zone is still his bad boy stage poster. He insulted Leslie and Maryland in election. If there's ever was one by trying to cast her as a villain, He accused her and her boyfriend of being mean to him and favoring his opponent. Though so negligent, Trump bullshitted at one point, at another, in complaining, "You're really quiet, impossible to convince," as if he was to make a study still discussing the pandemic, the economy, and his other responsibilities. Then, after 37 minutes of this, he abruptly declared, "That's enough," and left. So he didn't have nothing else to say to her. He is insulting her, and that's it. And that's what it is. As drummer, Trump's secular was still to the point of pathetic the call of the days after his inauguration. He offered nonsense about the size of his rally crowds, leave out rabbit holes that were about his opponent, Joe Biden. He even tried to reveal a supposed scandal involving Hillary Clinton, as if someone her name will name and endanger his supporters. In Gaza, the most rapid limit on his base seems to be Trump's only proposal to do that. He started to pose as a war. "You have to fight back," he said. If you don't fight back, you're not sitting in here very long. You go back home. You go back to home to mommy. You go back home to mommy." With this, he sounded more like an angry boy in a schoolyard, like the someone thing, like someone who you should trust with very adult promise. So that's what he's talking about. Now, let me say this again. And it says, now Trump says, now this is what he said. "You have to fight back. And if you don't fight back, you're not sitting here very long. You go back home. You go back home to mommy." This he sound more like an angry boy in a schoolyard than like someone we should trust with very dark promise. The adult on the program turned out to be Biden. He was interviewed by Nolan or Nell Aldell during the same show, despite what Trump claimed. She did not toss Biden's softball at the softball. In fact, she presses him on his age conversation controversial question or adding more justice to the Supreme Court. Now Biden remains in Texas and spinning as he dealt in the economy effects of the pandemic. Now, as we always know that about the schoolyard, if he don't fight that, he could go home and go home to. Kind of question is, what kind of answer is that? The commission idea might be a classic potential dodge, but there is something resolved about this ghost slow approach to the controversy. Biden was clearly trying to turn down the heat, and after 4 layers of red hot regarding from Trump, this approach seems less heckling than mass vulture. In the end, the difference between Biden and Trump interviews was not the quality of the questions, but the tone of the replies. Trump establishes a tone of confidence, refuses to truly dialogue, and in his usual fashion, he produces a string of mail-line statements and out falsehoods across the facts shackles. Biden may have dollars at times, and CBS fact checking claims that were somewhat obnoxious. However, Biden generally engaged in the conversation as if he respects the role of journalists who ask questions that could have voters make their choice. I think the contrast between Donald Trump and me is about as stark as it can get in terms of raw value set and how we view the world, Biden said. So anyway, they know it, people know it, and I know it. And people know this continues to force. Everyone knows the continues that he also can force. First, I just voted Biden on October the 15th. I voted for Biden because I wanted to. And by the way, they didn't know I see it coming, and I see it. The campaign is now heating up, folks. That's why it's heating up. And the campaign is heating up. Donald Trump is in Pennsylvania today. 2 days ago, Joe Biden had strong words for Donald Trump. Today, Donald Trump is going to make it happen again. Now, Biden is heading to Georgia tomorrow for his campaign. And I can freeze for that. I can promise you that this campaign is still going on. Now, you've seen what it is in his own words. I'm not thinking about this right now. I'm worried. I'm very worried about if Joe Biden is not elected as president of the United States. I don't know. But if he, the first president to run, in so now I'm not sure. So now I'm not. I'm sure about this now. People are getting need to be listening carefully. They need to be listening carefully right now because we've seen this before. We've seen it right in the eyes that we always know. Things can happen. Things can change in every minute. Things can change every minute. Were you a Trump voter or not? Were you the Biden voter or not? I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens. First, I gotta say, uh, I'm a Trump voter. Yes, it is. I'm a Trump. I'm not a Trump. I'm not the Trump voter, folks. I'm a Biden voter. I'm a Biden voter. I'm a Biden voter for real. But wherever you can, please vote now because it's very important. No wasting time, no screwing around this and that. But please vote now. It's very important. Please vote now. It's very important. Please vote for Biden because everything can happen in a moment. Oh, vote for Trump. It does not matter. It doesn't matter at all. Now, the breaking news of CNN record 16 plus million ballots already cast 8 days before the election. That is today, folks. That is today. You have to vote now. You have to vote now. Well, we have 60 million plus people. 60 million plus people are voting right now. They are voting right now until we got 8 days before the election. 8 days before the election. And all you have to do is subscribe this video, like me on YouTube and this whole stuff going on. Subscribe this video. Please. Please. Vote now. Let the votes be heard. I'm Jessica. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, by the way, you can check me out on the Jessica Network and YouTube channel. It's going to be very important to watch. Jessica, right? See you tomorrow.